Bada boom, bada bang, bada Carbon County. We are testing two of the, I was gonna say latest and greatest, but let's just say newest Carbon County race shoes, Adidas Adios Pro 4 versus the Saucony Endorphin Elite 2. We are also continuing to stack mileage out here in the freezing cold. It's not even, I think the high today in Min Hill was 32 American, so it's not even cracking the ice cold freezing barrier, but guess what? It's not even that cold here compared to some other people who've been posting their runs on the Supwell app. So here's what's going down on the Supwell app. We have a community challenge right now. It's all about consistency. It's all about grinding out through the winter miles. I've been having a terrible time this winter with my runs, but seeing everyone posting on the Supwell app it's motivating and inspiring for me to just continue grinding out here when I'm having no fun. So if you want to join a community of runners who are getting after it this winter, either on the treadmill or indoors, who are being consistent, come into the Supwell app. I said the other day, it's the internet's best run club. You can buy, sell, and trade gently used running shoes. We have great discounts to gear on Running Warehouse, 20% off of all. They call me Young SD, man. I've been having to delete footage on the SD card because it keeps getting filled up, and Amazon delivered my SD cards to my neighbor's house is what Charlie said, so she's gonna have to get them. Anyway, we got Running Warehouse gear discounts on the Supwell app, Best Buy, Sell, and Trade Marketplace. Come join the community challenge. I appreciate you guys. Let's get after it. Let's remember our why this winter, and let's stack mileage daily. It is really cold out there this morning. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in terms of today's run because it is 17 degrees. What's the feels like? Feels like 13. Wind is making it feel colder. Now, yesterday I took an off day. I was thinking of doing some mile repeats this morning. And now that I'm talking, I will probably still do that. But man, that is cold. Holy cow. I'm finish up my breakfast here. Alright, so even though it's so cold, I'm going to continue with my workout this morning as planned. I do not really want to, but we got to be consistent with the pace. I'm consistent with the mileage, but I've got to be consistent with the pace too. So I want to do a head-to-head this morning between the Adidas Adios Pro 4 and Saucony Endorphin Elite 2. I just ran in the Endorphin Elite 2 for the first time on Sunday. Extremely soft shoe. Look at this. I mean, that's insane how much this foam here compresses in the back. Same thing with the Adidas Adios Pro 4, but first runs in these two things. I've actually done 2 runs in the Adios Pro 4 now. I felt that they were opposite experiences. So Endorphin Elite 2 felt great at relaxed paces. When landing in the heel, it was nice and soft and comfortable. Great bounce. One of the bounciest shoes I've ever run in, and this midsole is a completely different experience than anything else in the market, and I called it the Heel Strikers Vaporfly. Weird thing, though, when I tried to run faster and got up on the forefoot, all of that compression and softness didn't feel great, and even just pushing it in here, I can feel that plate. My fingers can press this in and touch where the plate is in the forefoot. Adios Pro 4, on the other hand, this thing felt terrible in the heel, and when heel striking and running relaxed miles for me, felt the heel was bottoming out, and I mean, this compression is just wild back here. There's also a suction cup effect, but when running faster and getting up on the forefoot, it was the reverse. There was no bottoming out. It was a quick snap, felt extremely light and fast on foot. These are actually about the same weight. I can throw them on the scale quickly, but about the same weight, but very different experiences across the different pace ranges. Endorphin Elite 2 felt more of like that relaxed shoe, and the Adios Pro 4 felt like more of a fast speed shoe. Now, these are both faster marathon racing shoes, but comparing them across their relative strengths. So what I'm going to do today is take the Adios Pro 4 out for another workout this morning. I want to get some time on feet with some pace, and after the run, we can compare it to the Endorphin Elite, which we just ran in on Sunday. So quick specs here. Let me grab the scale, and we can throw these on for a comparison. All right, so quick stack or weight comparison. What's interesting too about these shoes is that they are both using supercritical TPEE instead of PIBA. So Adidas actually pioneered TPEE as a racing compound. This comes in at 212.5 grams. I do have the Adios Pro 4 in a size 11. I ordered it in a 10.5 and an 11, and the 10.5 11 just came first, so I decided to run in this one. It fits me fine. There is some more space up in the forefoot here. The Saucony Endorphin Elite 2, I have this guy in a size 10.5, which is my normal size. This does run very snug. I compared it to the Endorphin Elite OG in a 10.5, and the OG fit way better in the 10.5 than this. So I'm not sure if it's because I got an early sample that the sizing is just off, or if the sizing will be snug in general in these, but if the sizing is like this in the production run, I would go up half a size. So 219.5 grams. Similar weight. Endorphin Elite 2 is a bit heavier. You also do get more foam in the heel here. So let's compare these two side by side. You can see more of a bulge of foam in the heel. Let me get the caliper and we can take a width measurement. All right, here we go. So at the heel widest point, Endorphin Elite comes in at 90, and Adios Pro 4, yeah, much narrower at, holy cow, 78. So that's one of the things that's contributing to what I felt was decent stability in the Endorphin Elite 2. On the first run, the stability was not bad, even though it was so soft, and you can see now why. It's about 13 wider, 15 to 20% wider than the Adios Pro 4, which is also showing up on the scale, right? That's why you have some additional weight in the Endorphin Elite 2, but that weight is going to translate to a more comfortable ride experience. So out of the box here, a few runs on Adios Pro 4 and one run on the Endorphin Elite 2. My take so far is that the Endorphin Elite 2 is the more comfortable option for relative slower runners versus the Adios Pro 4. Way more aggressive, way more of that forefoot running shoe that's going to be better for fast top-end speed. We will verify that again today, though. So with that, let's lace up the Adios Pro 4 and get out there. I also need to figure out my clothes because it is in the teens here in Mint Hill. That is not fire. Let's take a look at this, actually. So this new brand sent, I don't know if they're new, but they sent me and Charlie some stuff. It's called Corsa. It's from Roadrunner Sports, but I thought this was just hilarious. Where's the thing? They spelled my name Yowanda. So yeah, it's called Corsa. They sent us some tights. These are men's tights, Thermotech Tight 2.0, and they sent me a vest. They sent Charlie a few pairs of tights, and she said they're the best tights she's worn recently, which is why I'm even shouting them out. So she's been loving this stuff. I'll give this a shot. I'm not huge into the running gear and testing running gear, but this winter I've been freezing, so I've been doing more testing running gear and trying to put more emphasis on actually running and stuff that's going to keep me warm. So we'll give this a shot this morning. Corsa, European Union certified. I was half getting dressed or half dressed here, and I realized I should probably show what I'm rocking with today. It's super dark in here. Let's get some natural light. Bada boom, bada bang. Bada bop. All right. Socks. I did the REI merino socks. These are midweight. I don't want to do the full smart wool socks because I think they'll just be too tight for a racing shoe, but we're going midweight merino socks. And then I put the tights underneath the new Corsa tights I'm testing, underneath the Target All in Motion pants. I just can't do tights by themselves. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way it feels to just be running around like Robin Hood out there prancing through the streets of Mint Hill in some tights. I don't know. Maybe I'm just insecure about my masculinity, but I just can't do tights. Something about it. Am I alone in this? I know a lot of people like tights and the half tights, and you look so manly with your jacked thighs like my guy Sergio. I just can't do it. I need to do shorts or pants. Am I alone on Pants Island? Let me know. All right, then top, I'm going the Tracksmith Merino base layer. This is another thing that I got sent to me for free. It's been okay so far. The warmth is great, but sometimes when I wear it, I've been feeling like it's too tight, too constricting. That's my issue with all of these high performance base layers, is sometimes they just feel too tight and I don't like it. But we'll try it out again this morning. The warmth of this has been insane. It's been amazing. And then I'm going to do the Nike quarter zip with the, I'll throw the vest on in a sec, from Corsa. So 2 layers below have pants and tights, socks, and then I'll have 3 layers up top. Base layer of merino. This is some polyester thing, the Nike quarter zip, and then we'll do the full or the half. It's not even a half, it's just a vest up top. The vest, let me show you the vest actually. It looked pretty fire. All right, this is the vest right here. Charlie got one too. That's salmon pink. They call it the Aerofill vest, I think. I don't know. Looks pretty thick up top. I wore this around the house Saturday night, and it was keeping me warm. That's basically all I care about with this gear, and it has pockets. Does it keep me warm? Is it functional? We will see. And I'll put this on, then we can lace up our shoes. Oh, and of course, Hobby Jogger beanie. Man, these shoes are designed to help you run fast, but for me, a good race shoe is also just a motivator, something to look forward to. My motivation and enjoyment of running this winter, probably at a not all-time low, but 1 year low. It's just been so hard. It's been so cold. I'm not training for anything in particular right now, which I should probably change. But yeah, slipping into the Adios Pro 4 here. Very soft heel, and it feels narrow. That's the difference between the Elite 2 and this. Let me throw the Endorphin Elite 2 on, actually, on the other foot, just to do a comparison. Upper is great, though, on the Adios Pro 4. Again, I do have it in an 11, so I have extra room. It's almost like the 11 in the Adios Pro 4 is too big, and then the 10.5 in the Endorphin Elite 2 is too small. I actually really like the upper on the Endorphin Elite 2. These are both good uppers. But man, the rocker on the Elite 2, it just puts your foot in such an aggressive position. Same thing as the Elite OG, but my toes are just curved to the sky here. This is crazy. Yeah. Okay, putting both of these on, the Adios Pro 4 feels more normal. The Elite 2 heel feels way squishier. And then having my toes curved up to the sky also feels really uncomfortable and awkward. So step and feel, Adios Pro 4 feels way more like a normal shoe. Elite 2 feels crazy. Let's do a walk test. The Elite 2 just feels way more cushion. Now, I did do a stack check comparison between these two in the first video I did with the Endorphin Elite 2, and it came out, I think it was 1 millimeter higher. Maybe I'll do a stack check at the end of the day, but Elite 2 feels more special. It feels more cushioned. It feels more exciting. It's just the fast top-end speed performance for me wasn't there. The Adios Pro 4 feels more standard, but we're going to do more testing on the Adios Pro 4 this morning and do more of that fast testing, because that's where I think the Adios Pro 4 is going to be best and going to shine, especially compared to the Elite 2. But comfort, I have to give it to the Elite 2. Step and feel is crazy, and this just feels like an exciting breakthrough innovation product. it feels a lot different than anything else in the market. The rocker's crazy. The foam is crazy. Adios Pro 4, and this is what I said in the first few videos, feels more of like a step back toward what the older versions of the Vaporfly were, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but more traditional feeling for sure. So that's another way to look at it. Right, the Adios Pro 4 is a more traditional feeling racing shoe, and the Endorphin Elite 2 is a newer style shoe, similar to the Cielo X1. But fit is way tighter in the Elite 2 versus the Cielo X1. All right, let's just do this thing, man. It's time to get these miles in. I took a rest day yesterday. Usually when I take a rest day, the next day I'm completely fired up, ready to go. That is not the case today. This morning I wanted to take another rest day. Oh gosh. Yeah, this winter has just been a complete slog. Colder than normal. My motivation has just been low. I was thinking about this last night after I was cleaning the kitchen, because I put together that video yesterday on the 5 types of speed workouts. I've been thinking a lot about the mechanics of training, what we do to get faster, but not the why. I need to find a new why right now, a new goal. Last year was all marathon, and my journey to go sub 240, that was a year-long process. I first signed up for Chicago a year before the race. You need to. I was looking at doing Chicago again this year about a month ago, and I missed the sign up because you need to sign up so far in advance. So I planned that a year ahead, started training a year ahead, ran a test marathon 6 months in advance, and was really happy with my goal and my completion of the sub 240, which at the time I didn't even go into that build saying I want to go sub 240. It was really, I want to get the best out of myself, train at a high level, and that was the result. I 100% dedicated myself to that goal for months. And I do want to go sub 230. Oh man, I'm feeling the suction cup stickiness again. I wasn't feeling it out of the gates, but now I don't know what it is. Some sort of landing on the heel makes me feel it. It's really distracting. But yeah, that was a long process, over a year, focused on one goal. And now it's 4 months later, and I still haven't found the next thing. And I tried some different things. I did the ultra. That was fine. So I don't know. And I don't think you need to be signed up for a race to run. And I didn't even run a race until 3 or 4 years into my running, or was it 2 to 3 years into my running journey. So it doesn't need to be a race goal, but it just feels like I've been in a slump or stagnant. So it's a constant process of figuring it out.
Doesn't help that it's 13 degrees either. What I do know is that I want to maintain my base fitness, which is what I've been doing, keeping my mileage up, doing maintenance style workouts while I figure out what's next. And I'm starting to get an inkling of an idea, but I'm just not sure. Yeah, I also really want to get out of the mindset of we always have to be training for a half marathon or marathon for our running to be worthwhile. Because I think if you're on the internet following runners, everything is around these cycles of the marathon majors. And it's always my build to this time, my build to that time, fall marathon, spring marathon. And that's great if that's your goal, but that's not the only way to have a meaningful experience with running. And last year I definitely fell into that. And now I'm just trying to figure out what's next. I don't know. I don't have the answers. So that was mile 1, 7:26. This shoe does have a normal direct feel going for it at the front half. It's just the back half is completely distracting. I called it a hot mess for a reason. It's really weird. It's just the split foam in the suction cup. But the front is nice. And the softer foam in the forefoot does feel okay. It's really just the back that's killing it. Oh, chopper sighting in Mint Hill. This is why I like doing multiple runs in these shoes across different paces, energy levels, temperatures. I'm still getting that really weird stickiness in the back. And it also just feels like I'm landing on top of something. But again, these are my warm-up paces. But at these paces, 7-minute paces, the Endorphin Elite 2 felt amazing. Also felt like I was getting 30-second per mile boost. Out of the gates, on my long run, I was banging 7 flat pace. Yeah, man, I'm not a fan of this thing at whatever pace this is. It feels narrow, unstable, and I can still feel that rod system underneath my foot. People sometimes ask me why I do multiple videos on shoes I don't like. It's because I want to do my due diligence. Yeah, at these paces, this is a no-go for me. You do not like shoe because it is not for heel striker. In my country, if you strike heel, government lacerates the foot at ankle. This is such a weird feeling. It is such a weird feeling in the midfoot of the shoe. The suction cup. I'm not gonna belabor the point here, but if you look at my first run review, or no, the hot mess video, a lot of people in the comments agreed that they felt that, so I'm not the only one feeling it. It's not painful, it's just distracting and weird. It's not pleasant. It's not what I want to be feeling. It's just a very weird sensation. All right, I'm feeling moderately miserable, just in my head spiraling, so I'm gonna do some strides, get the legs cranking. Bro, I hate winter. I hate winter. I'm not built for this. And I'm not sorry for complaining. I'm really not. If I'm miserable, your viewing experience is gonna be miserable too. All right, 17 seconds, 5:18 pace. The crazy thing is, when running fast in these, up at the front, they feel relatively normal in terms of a speed shoe. They don't feel like anything special in a good way. It's just the relaxed jogging experience is so weird. It is so weird. I'm gonna do another stride here. That actually felt okay. By the way, these tights, they're warm, but I just don't like the tights feeling. Something about tights just doesn't work for me. "18 seconds, 5:27 pace." All right, so I'm 5 strides in. I'm gonna do one more and then hit this first mile repeat. I'm aiming for 4 miles at below a 5:50 pace. But what I was gonna say is, one thing I really love about this shoe is that it feels so easy to transition between paces. So unlike the Cielo X1 and the Endorphin Elite 2, these big, high stacked, soft cushion shoes with crazy rockers, this feels more direct, and I do have a lot of control up in the forefoot. So even though the back is really weird, the front, when running fast, feels like I'm in the driver's seat. With the Endorphin Elite 2, it was a lot harder for me to transition between paces. And at Chicago, in the Endorphin Elite OG, I was actually transitioning between paces a lot, and that's something I loved about that shoe. It made speeding up and slowing down effortless. The Endorphin Elite 2 is more of a you find your pace and just hold it type of shoe, similar to the Super Blast or Mag Max. All right, I'm gonna start this next rep, or first rep, first mile. All right, that was the first rep. First half felt like complete garbage. It was also uphill. The second half was okay on the flat. I think I need to keep these flat today. I'm gonna take about a 2-minute jog and then hit this next rep. My legs are pretty tired though. I think I'm still feeling the long run from Sunday. And taking a day off yesterday didn't help. I basically never take days off because it doesn't help me feel better. Usually just makes me feel worse mentally when I don't run, but I took a day off for the family yesterday. so I didn't have to inconvenience people with my running for once. I'm not taking long recoveries today. I want to keep the intensity up. So I'm gonna go again right here. Oh. I hit the target pace, but these are feeling like complete garbage. I don't know if I want to keep going with this workout. Some days doing a workout when motivation is low and I'm feeling sluggish can be super helpful to break me out of that, but today it just feels like I'm pouring gasoline on a fire. Or more appropriately, pouring ice into a frozen tundra of wintry sluggishness. Also, everyone in my house is sick right now, so maybe I'm catching that. I don't know. But my target for this was 4. I've done 2. I'm halfway there, so I'm gonna try 1 more. All right, let's just get it over with. These are feeling god awful, but I'm somehow hitting the pace. 5:46 per mile on that one. I should probably quit. This does not feel good. I've just had so few quality workouts recently though that I'm not gonna quit. I need to finish this. But if you're feeling like this, if you're feeling terrible, if the reps are feeling much harder than anticipated, this is an example of when you should quit. Don't always do what I do. This is not fun. Running is supposed to be fun. But I'm just gonna finish it out. I feel like I could go back to sleep right now. All right, I'm gonna do this last rep. I'm many things, but I'm not a gosh dang quitter. I cheated on that one. I cheated 5:48 per mile pace, but I cheated. The main road was way too windy, and it's windy in this neighborhood too, but I went on a downhill instead of doing my usual loop, I just took a left down this street because I knew it was a massive downhill. So I cheated. But we got our pace. And we got it done, man. Days like today, this reminds me of the Y. This right here. Because the Y is not sub 230. The Y is not winning a race. The Y is not putting up 100 miles a week. The Y for me in running is doing something hard and not quitting. I was always a quitter my entire life until I found running. That's why I don't quit on anything when it comes to running. This is the Y, coming out here when it sucks and is miserable and it's not fun, and chopping wood and feeding the fire. I've said this before and I didn't invent this, but if passion is the fire, the wood chopping is the commitment. This is what we commit to. This is what fires me up. Reminding myself that I don't quit in life. And that's why I don't take very many off days. There's no off days in life. The mortgage company isn't going to give you an off day. The water company isn't going to say, oh, you don't need to pay your water bill this month. Oh, these are the days where you have to find something. Got it done. Honestly, sometimes quitting is the smart thing, but I don't always do the smart thing. I don't always train the scientific way. That's not me. That's not how I'm built. If you want to be a dog, you have to do some dog stuff. And this is seriously how I treat my running and why I take it so seriously sometimes. I do not take myself seriously. I am a complete joke. But I take the running seriously because there's one area of life where, first of all, we have complete control over what we do out here. When we're out here running, nobody else can move our body for us. So how we treat the running is a reflection of how we treat other things, at least for me. If I quit on my running, what's to say I'm not going to quit as something else? That's just me though. Everyone has to find their own why. I think that's why I've been struggling to find that next goal and why I don't want to just jump into some marathon build or half marathon build, because it's not true to why I'm doing this right now. By the way, cold weather gear review, perfect. Fit is perfect today. Could not be any better. The thing is, this wind out on the main street, once I get up here, is whipping anyway. I don't know if any jacket could save me from that wind. But everything's feeling good, other than the shoes. Yeah, this is the street where I went downhill and cheated. Make it easier on yourself. Make it easy. Do an easier route. Make the pace easier. Quitting is a last resort though. Absolute last resort. For me. I'm not giving advice. If you want to quit, go ahead. Do you hear that? Feels like running on deflating airbags. So I'm cooling down here last half a mile. And both times I've run a workout in these shoes now, my cool down pace has been in the 8s. when I'm jogging, these are not giving me any bounce. They're not giving me any sort of speed assistance jogging. So that's been the main experience with it this time. Not only did they feel weird in the back, compared to the best race shoes out there, they just don't feel as bouncy now. Running fast, they're not slowing me down and they feel normal at the front, but they just feel like nothing special compared to the On, compared to the Alpha Fly, and especially compared to the new Saucony. That thing felt amazing at my jogging paces. It felt so good that I wasn't even able to jog. I was at a jogging effort, but the pace was way faster. With this, it's just meh. Meh, flat. And on a day where I don't have a lot of juice, it's not giving me any juice. I'm gonna go unlace inside. It's cold. I just don't have it today, man.
Everyone's inside, so I'm out here after all, still in the cold. Let's see what we got today. 12 miles, 7:10 pace, 1 hour, 28 minutes, 11 seconds. Now, I usually feel raring to go after an off day, but I'm wondering if that long run just took more out of me than I anticipated, because I ran that at a 6:30 something pace, which I've not done in a while. That was in the Endorphin Elite, so maybe my legs still need recovery from that, but just nothing has felt smooth. And last week, here's the thing, when I was traveling last week, I didn't even do any workouts. I was letting myself take it easy on the treadmill, not pushing myself too hard, and I did the workout on Sunday, but even without that, my legs are still, I'm just sluggish in general right now, so rough patch of training continues. It's just the winter. I think it's just the winter. Adios Pro 4, this was not giving me any help at all today. It wasn't hurting me, but it certainly was not helping. Basically the same exact way I felt about the first few runs in this shoe. The back is super weird. The foam is collapsing all the way to the ground for me. Jogging paces do not feel good. And then when running fast, I can run fast and I'm in control, but it's not giving me a ton of anything. It feels like it's just there. That's how I felt about the Adios 9 as well, where the foam is not bad, but it's just there. So honestly, I felt that way about the Adios Pro 3 as well, where it wasn't giving me a ton of bounce. So yeah, this is just okay. This is just okay for me. It's nothing special, unfortunately. All right, recovery time. Good workout or bad workout, refuel. The most important part of the run is eating afterwards. All right, today we are doing, what the heck? Bro, talk about shenanigans. It's just a dinosaur head. Charlie actually got this thing at the Art Institute of Chicago when we were there for the Chicago Marathon for Refuel. This is his dinosaur thing that he likes wearing. But this is what I'm gonna eat this morning. Homemade burrito. It's funny, we had Chipotle for lunch yesterday. 2 days ago for dinner we had tacos. Last night for dinner we had chili cheese fries, which were just crazy, homemade. So I've had a lot of this Western Tex-Mex style food. Charlie said we're renaming Supwell Kitchen Frontier Kitchen and Cookery Outpost. So bada boom, I'm going to do one, and then bada bang, two. And I think Charlie said you do like this. This is what she does, so that it gets some moisture in there so that the outside doesn't get too crispy. Whenever I do it, the outside just gets really crispy. All right, bada bang. I'll put these guys in the oven at 375 and they'll be good to go. Alright, lunch is good to go. I just pulled out the burritos. This is an early lunch. It's only 10 something. But I think I'm going to have a quick turnaround on the double today. So yeah, this is our queso. Homemade cashew-based queso right here. Look at this. Complete flames. So I'll put this on top. And then bada boom. Bada bang. Hopefully these are... Ooh, I don't know if these are going to be warm on the inside. Let me take a bite. That needs 5 more minutes in the oven. While that's going in the oven, I'm making my coffee this afternoon. What should we go with? We have a lot of options right now. We have 4 different types of options. This is the newest one I got from Blue Bottle. It was okay. Bolivia, Copacabana, Sol de la Mañana. Let me go with this one. I did this in the Chemex yesterday, but I didn't fully unlock the notes. It's harder to get the perfect batch in the Chemex. It's much easier to do it in a single cup pour over. So I'm going to do this, the Bolivia. Let's see how it is. So Refuel today. Bang. Element and the Larry June Nalgene doing numbers. Cashew cheese sauce. Blue Bottle coffee. It's draining. And our burritos. I'm going to eat them even if they're cold. Bang. I think that qualifies as a big boy refuel. What do you think? We need to do a 1 sip, everybody knows the rules on the coffee though. Bolivian coffee, 1 sip, everybody knows the rules. It's aight. Some nice lemon notes. I get what they're saying with the brown sugar, but it's nothing special. It's nothing special. Black and white is still my number 1 roaster right now. This Blue Bottle is just okay. Highly drinkable. It is highly drinkable, that's for sure. It would be nice in a latte. Or maybe an espresso shot, but pour over, it's just aight. It'll get the job done for the afternoon. Alright, work done. Bro, shout out to the PR agency who sent me this stuff, but this is honestly disrespectful. Yawanda, if you were a VIP, you could have received your order even faster. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. Don't call me Yawanda and then tell me I'm not a VIP. All right, it is time for run number 2 here. We're going to do it in the Saucony Endorphin Elite 2. You know, usually I would do something like Mag Max or Monday for my second run of the day, but today, because these were so comfortable and so fun and I'm doing this comparison, I want to just go full race shoe. I rarely go Carbon County for the second run of the day, but we'll see. We'll see how the Endorphin Elite does. And you know what? It is freezing out there still. No, I'm not going to lace those up outside. I'm going back inside. We're going to lace these up over here. Oh my goodness. Today's a day where I would go on the treadmill. Especially if I had one in my house. But look at this. I'm going Max Cushion Gang socks. These are actually the same socks I have on right now, but I just wanted to show you. This is what you need. Get your shoes a half a size up for the winter, and then get you some of these smart wool hiking socks. These are the best socks ever created. True Max Cushion Gang. They are so thick, heavy, warm. I absolutely love these things. So I'm going to keep them on. My toes might be slamming up in here, but I don't even care. I'm going to be warm for this run. So second run, I'm going REI fleece line joggers. Oh no, I might have to take off these socks. I think this is too tight. Oh gosh, I think it's too tight. I've worn these with the Nova Blast before, but it's too tight. Hold on. All right, I have the regular features on right now. This should be better, not as tight in here. This is a really snug fit in my normal 10.5. It's the length plus the curvature of the toes. It's wild, but yeah, this is better. I really wish I could wear those Max Cushion Gang socks. By the way, it's still under freezing here. It's still under 32 degrees American, which is crazy. I think it's 29 right now. That is not chill. Yeah, second run of the day, 8 miles. Gonna get up to 20. I'm gonna have to stack a few 20-mile days this week since I took yesterday off to maintain my base mileage at 100. I've actually been clipping 110, but with taking a day off, probably not gonna get 110 this week. But we'll put up a 20 this afternoon. I love lacing these things up. This is one of those shoes you lace it up, and it just feels fun. It feels fun to lace up. It looks fun from the top. It's not my favorite design, but it looks like a fun shoe. Everything about this shoe just screams fun. The Adios Pro 4 is very self-serious. This is not a serious shoe. This is a silly, fun shoe. It also is just ridiculous how soft this is in the back. All right, let's do this thing. Second round of the day, bada boom, bada bang. Even just walking around here, these feel so good, so soft and fun and special. They have that special feel to them. The Adios Pro 4 did not. Yeah, this is just wild. It feels like running on top of marshmallows. That's the best way I could describe it. Yeah, I don't usually take the GoPro out for the second run of the day, but because I'm running in these, thought it would be worthwhile. Yeah, right away, difference from the Adios Pro 4. Heel is much more supportive. The rocker is much more aggressive. Feels a lot more fun at this jogging pace. And I'm also getting more speed assistance at this jogging pace. But the forefoot in these, for me, it just does not stand up to the power. And this is what I felt on the long run. And I'm feeling it again here. This foam is just so soft that it feels that it's compressing all the way down in the forefoot, even at a relatively relaxed pace. But that's just the feel. The performance is there, man. These things sing. I almost felt the Adios Pro 4 was boring by the end of that run. There's some weirdness to it with the heel, but when running fast, there was nothing wrong with it, just boring. This is not boring. This is so fun. It's a marshmallow puffball. It's so bouncy. I said the other day this might be the bounciest shoe I've ever run in. This definitely is. This is the bounciest shoe I've ever run in. It feels so new and fresh and different from everything else. This foam is not perfect, but Saucony has designed an experience that's unlike any other racing shoe. And for a lot of us hobby joggers, shoe sickos and enthusiasts,
That's what we seek. We have all the shoes that we need. But this is one that's gonna give you something new. It's like a different fermentation process with coffee. Black and White has a funk meter on the coffee bag to show you if a coffee is clean and bright or deep, dark, and funky with unique notes. The funk meter on these are turned up to 11. It's a funky puppy. I used to think Topo was the microdosing brand. Saucony is microdosing up in Boston. These are wild. Explains the colorway too. Two miles in here, cruising at a 7:30 pace. This shoe is very soft. I can't say that enough. This is the bounciest shoe I've ever tried. It's also probably the softest. It's a unique combination. But what I said, I said this the other day, I'm not sure if I love it or I hate it. Honestly, just wish I were in the Mag Max right now. Alright, I think I finally figured these out. I just did a stride. I'm not gonna do a workout, but I'll do some strides. When upping my cadence and popping off the ground quickly in the forefoot, these feel perfect. Feels like the best version of the Vaporfly. The rear foam, perfect amount of cushion in the back, and then you get that snap in the front, similar to Zoom X at its best. So I think there's two ways this shoe can be used best. One is what I'm doing right now, which is jogging. The second is really fast firing off the front. It's that middle zone, which for me is powerful mid-foot strike, just mashing down flat-footed, where it falls flat, literally. That's where a firmer race shoe does better. All right, that was 4 strides, and that's about all I can take with these. My toenails are getting battered. This is just as bad as the Asics Metaspeed shoe, so I'm gonna hit a shoe change into the Mag Max for the second half of this run. House is only a few minutes away. Yeah, hitting these strides, these feel so good. They feel perfect. I remember feeling that on Sunday too, for 1 or 2 of those 2-mile reps, just locked in with these. Such a good groove. I've never had that with the Adios Pro 4. It's just serviceable. I don't want to take these off because they're feeling amazing, but it's got to be done. Switching into the Mag Max.
Quick audible, we're not doing Mag Max, we're doing Endorphin Elite OG. We can do back-to-back run tests. This is Adios Pro 4 versus Endorphin Elite 2 versus Endorphin Elite OG. Who would have thought? 3 shoes, 1 test. All right, I'll lace these up real quick. Oh my gosh, that is so much better. I have so much more room in the OG in a 10.5. That's crazy. Those V2 are so snug.
All right, and the Endorphin Elite OG now. Fit is way better. Upper is way better. Does not feel nearly as bouncy though. That is crazy. Man, this feels like the Ride 18 compared to the V2. It also feels like I'm wearing a size 12 now compared to how snug the V2 was. That's crazy. This feels flat and uninspiring and not fast at all compared to the new one. That new one is insane. Now I'm remembering why I love these though, and why I love a firmer feel. They fit my foot perfectly and they just go away. I'm not thinking about how soft they are. I'm not thinking about how bouncy they are. But when I want to run fast, I throw in a stride. They respond. Yeah, I'm just as fast in these as the V2. Those feel more lively, but these are fast. I love these things. I'm basically giving 2 videos in one, plus life lessons, plus coffee tutorial, plus gear review, plus, I don't know, it's a lot of plus. Giving out free game. Boy, still complaining about the video length. Ah! Yeah, these are amazing. This is my perfect race shoe, Endorphin Elite OG. It's just funny because I like the new one, but running these back to back is really making me think about it. Saucony basically said, yeah, everyone who likes the first version, forget about you. We don't care about you. Take your business elsewhere. We're going to abandon you. Thanks for buying thousands of pairs of these. Screw you. We're going to do a 180. Yeah, I'm glad I pulled this shoe. I was not planning to. This is the real winner here. There's no collapsing mushy heel. There's no 4-foot plate bottoming out. There's no distractions. It's just a gimmick-free banger. Sometimes the OG really is the best one. Oh yeah, our most expensive shoe that's been out for 2 years, the one that people like Nick Bear racing, yeah, let's just completely scrap that entire shoe. Let's change it because people love it. But you know what they're gonna love more? This thing that's totally opposite. And you know what we're gonna offer them as a replacement? Those people who liked that first shoe that Nick Bear was wearing all the time and gave tons of free publicity to, and that hybrid athletes everywhere are using a race, and that bigger runners are using a race. You know what we're gonna give them as a replacement that feels the same? Nothing. Nothing. I'm sure they'll find another brand. They'll probably just buy the Puma GV8 Nitro Elite 3 or the Asics Meta Speed Edge pairs. And we're okay with that. We don't need those customers anyway. Customers? What are those? Customers? Ugh, yuck. I hate customers. You know what? The strategy works so well with the Triumph. Remember the Triumph? That max cushion everyday shoe that so many people loved in the 20 and 21? It works so well when we made it firm and heavy in the 22 and took a complete 180 with that shoe. We're gonna do the same thing in the Endorphin Elite. Genius! Why don't more brands think of this? Let's put out a good shoe and then change it to the opposite direction in the next generation. Wolverine worldwide, baby. I'm being harsh on Saucony here, but this is one of the realities of the product development cycle and capitalism needing to drive more sales. You have to come up with something new. You have to create new technology. And so the Endorphin Elite V2 is them doing that, putting a new product to market that's different. Is it better than the last one? I don't think so. It is different though, it's awesome, and a lot of people are gonna buy it.
Bang, that's what I'm talking about right there. Another 20 in Mint Hill. So we got 4 in the Endorphin Elite OG. What was the average pace? 709. I think it was 713 or 720 in the Endorphin Elite V2. And these things are just perfect. So I was not planning today on running in these, but because the V2s were destroying my feet, I did the audible, and I'm glad I did. Upper, dialed, fit, scrumptious. Midsole, forgettable, perfectly forgettable. That's the thing about this shoe. It is just so reliable. We need to make shoes boring again. Make running shoes reliable and boring again. I don't want fun. I'm officially changing my policy and my stance. No more fun. 2025. Give me the Hoka Skyflow. Give me the Puma Mag Max. That's the most fun I want in a shoe. Puma Mag Max. You're not allowed to be more fun than that. And that shoe's great because it's Max Cushion Gang. And it's stable. Give me stable. Give me slightly firm. Give me reliable. I don't want squishy. I don't want mushy. No more fun. Before we get into it today, gear review. So this is the new Corsa stuff. Corsa official gear of Soviet Union. It's the Roadrunners brand, Roadrunner Sports. I really like this vest. I don't have a lot to compare it to, but it is downfill. It's not as warm probably as my Patagonia downfill vest, but for running, it's nice. I like it. I also have an REI vest, similar color to this, but that's very lightweight. That's just a thin windshield. So vest, awesome. The tights that they sent me, no, it's hard for me to find a good pair of tights. I know people like the Walaco stuff. People like the Tracksmith stuff. But for me, anytime I try a pair of tights, I just think these would be better if they were slightly looser, which just makes them pants. I'm just team pants. These pants I have on right now, actually, REI fleece lined pants are perfect. They're nice and slim fitting. So I'm just a pants guy, but vest was awesome. I recommend it. I think it's $100 something bucks. The thing is, you can find with all this stuff, if you're on a budget, you can find gear cheaper. And on the Supwell app, we have a discount code that will take 20% off of gear. So are you going to buy this stuff, or are you going to buy the Supwell app discount running warehouse stuff? Probably Supwell app discount running warehouse stuff. Anyway, we got 20 miles today in the Adios Pro 4 and Saucony Endorphin Elite, but I want to start here with the Endorphin Elite OG. So I do not believe in perfection, especially when it comes to running gear and performance products. There's flaws, there's trade-offs. The lighter weight a shoe is, the less stable it will be, or the less protective it will be. The bouncier a shoe is, typically the less comfortable it will be in one area. The better fitting an upper is, typically the less padded it will be. The more padded an upper is, the heavier a shoe will be. The better grip a shoe has, the heavier it will be. The list goes on and on. If you add one thing, you have to take something else out. With this, the trade-off is the firmer a shoe is, typically the less comfortable it is at slower paces. That's always been what's holding back the Endorphin Elite from ultimate greatness for a lot of runners. But for me, a sub 30 marathoner, a sub 240 marathoner, this was the shoe I used for my 239 at Chicago. This is perfect. What does perfect mean? For me, perfect, or getting as close to perfect as possible, means as few flaws as possible. If you're familiar with the way diamonds are graded, the higher grading a diamond has, the fewer flaws it has. That's literally the naming system. VVS, very, very slightly flawed, very, very slightly included. That's what a VVS diamond is. There's no such thing as a flawless gemstone, but the more expensive and the better quality a diamond is, the fewer flaws there are. And that's what this shoe, there's so few
flaws to it. Now, it does have a lot of exposed foam in the back that will, again, the lighter weight a shoe is, typically the less durable it will be. That's one of the flaws with the shoe. It's not going to have the most stepping comfort, but when I'm out here putting down marathon pace, or today I was just doing strides this afternoon after the workout this morning we did in the Adios Pro 4, it felt so flawless. I have no complaints with the Endorphin Elite OG. And I wasn't planning on talking about the shoe today, but this is the issue that I'm seeing in the market right now. All these brands are going to soft. The Adios Pro 4 is now soft. The Endorphin Elite is now soft. Why? Why are we going to soft? Why are we going to soft? And maybe I'm alone here. Maybe the bigger runners were getting left behind as brands are evolving, but this was a love shoe. I love this thing. This is as close to perfect as you can get in a race shoe. And now it's going to be out of commission. And of course, we could buy up hundreds of pairs of it, but here's the thing. We, of course, if we're shoe enthusiasts, we also want to race in the latest and greatest. Does the latest and greatest have to be soft? No. So I'm taking my money to Asics. I'm going to find another pair of Metaspeed Edge Paris in a size 11. The size 10.5 was too small for me because those run really short. And by the way, this fits perfectly. Again, fits perfectly in a 10.5. The new one is weird in a 10.5. It's my toes are curving up and hitting. There's a hard plastic toe cap. I have no idea why they do this. The entirety of the front here is a hardened plastic toe cap, and it's very short and extremely curved. But I'm taking my money to Asics to test the Metaspeed Edge Paris again, because maybe that's going to be the new shoe to replace the Saucony Endorphin Elite, because this thing is way different. Now, let's talk about the shoes that we were actually supposed to be testing today and that are in the title. Endorphin Elite OG versus the Adios Pro 4. So this morning we got 12 miles in the Adios Pro 4. The Adidas here, the new race shoe from Adidas with the softer variant of Light Strike Pro. Gosh dang, I hate soft race foam. Stop making race foam soft. Everybody's going soft these days. Let's throw it up. 4x1 miles. It was terrible feeling workout, but I got it done. My goal was to go below 550, and I accomplished that on all of them except for the first one where I was warming up. I hit a 559, but effort was high. Feeling was trash, not good, but accomplished was, yes, we did accomplish it. That was barely English, but check mark. We got the workout done. Now, warm up, this did not feel good other than the first 2 minutes before I started getting that heel clicking and the collapsing feel at the bottom, and this shoe just does not feel good for me for jogging paces. There's not a lot of bounce to it for those jogging paces, and the foam collapses a ton in the back. So it's soft and squishy, it's collapsing, and it doesn't have the same speed assistance and excitement as the Endorphin Elite 2. So in terms of slower paces, Endorphin Elite 2 is the clear winner for me. This is way more fun, and if we throw up the splits from the second run, I wasn't even going fast today. I was going around a 7:30 pace for that second run. I was planning to do 8 miles. I cut it to 4 because the sizing here was just, it's completely off. This is really short. This is a sample pair. I hope they fix it in the production run, but this is about a half a size short. But other than the sizing, I had very few issues with it on the second run at that relaxed pace. It is a very fun shoe. It's like the best version of what the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3 was, that rockered, bouncy feel, the best version of what the Vaporfly was. It is a fun, exciting, explosive ride, especially if you're landing flat-footed. And when I was doing strides on the second run, let's throw those up, hitting 450 pace, this really came alive, and that's where this was shining. So getting up at the 4-foot quicker cadence, not putting a lot of power down, trying to have as quick a ground contact time as possible, that's where this felt great. So awesome shoe, really fun for landing flat-footed to the back at more relaxed paces, and also really fun for getting up into the 4-foot. The issue with it for me comes with the distracting softness. It is extremely soft, and that was made clear when I put on the Endorphin Elite 1, Endorphin Elite OG here. Completely different experience, and I was talking about this out here. Brands have to change, they have to innovate, but it is such a departure from the first version here, and so far in the other direction, that I'm really hoping to make the Endorphin Pro 5, which we have not seen. At least I have not seen any pictures of that. I don't think there's been any leaks yet. If there have been, please point me in the direction. I'm hoping in the Endorphin Pro 5 they take the Power Run HG
and maybe they can soften it up, or maybe they do dual foam, power on PBHG, but give us something firmer, Saucony, please, because this is not going to be for everyone. It's a fun shoe. I'm not sure I can race in it. And against the Adios Pro 4, it's more fun, probably better for a lot of hobby joggers, more comfortable, but just a distracting feel. And for me as a marathon runner and as someone who reviews shoes from an endurance running standpoint, I always talk about, again, think of that diamond grading scale, right? The higher quality you get, the more expensive you get, the less flaws, fewer flaws a product has. I always pick race shoes based on how few issues they have. That's why I picked the Saucony Endorphin Elite. Someone commented, oh, he picked the Endorphin Elite because he's a contrarian, it's an inferior product. It's a superior product to me than something like the Alpha Fly because there's just no issues with it. There's nothing wrong. There's no distractions. I can run 5:30 pace if I want to. I can run 6:10 pace when I want to. And every pace from a 5:20 to a 6:30, and those are the paces that I'd be running within a 2:40 marathon attempt for 5:20 pace at some point if I'm really surging to catch somebody, or a 6:30 pace if I'm going up a hill or hanging back. This feels amazing. And I know a lot of runners who are putting down sub 3s feel the same. Both of these two shoes are flawed. And this was supposed to be a comparison test between the two, but neither of them is really the winner when it comes to racing. If I had to pick one to train in, Endorphin Elite 2 takes it for me by far. I also think the durability of this is going to be better. The overall feel is just better. The ride experience is like nothing else I've ever experienced, way more fun. But for race day, I'm likely not picking either of these. I have to get the Endorphin Elite 2 and an 11. Hopefully that will fix some of the issues I have with it. But there's a lot of distractions. Yes, it's fun, but it doesn't feel as reliable as the old one. So very fun shoe. Adios Pro 4, this one is going to completely fall out of the rotation for me. I think I might have to do a new 3-run policy. So that's 40-something miles on this. 12 plus the 10 out of the box is 22, plus a 20-mile long run is 42. So 42 miles on the Adios Pro 4. I've had the same issues throughout all of those runs where the back half just feels soft and mushy. The front half feels okay. The best I can get out of this is serviceable, but it's not like even the Endorphin Elite where I'm getting up on the front and it feels great. It's coming alive and I'm locked in. It just feels okay. I'm like running on top of a deflated airbag in this thing. So not my favorite. Out of these two, Endorphin Elite has to be the winner, but there's just issues across both of them. Yeah, I'm not a fan of soft. This is fun. This is wild. This is going to be fun, a great long run shoe. And I know a lot of people are going to like this, especially for the marathon, but it's not a reliable shoe. All right, well, you can go in the lab. We can compare the specs. We can compare the uppers. We can do the weight. We can do the weigh-in. We can talk about the fit. We can talk about the compression. But when it comes down to it, for me, it's all about the emotional feel, the confidence. It's comfort and it's confidence. And when I'm thinking about a shoe a lot, it just takes me out of the zone. I can zone out with the Endorphin Elite and just vibe. I have my best runs in this thing. My best runs of the past year have been in this thing, and I don't think either of these two can come close to replicating it. So for most people, my winner here is the Endorphin Elite 2. Somebody said I rambled too much. I do. I talk a lot, I think, as I analyze these shoes, and it was completely off script to take the Endorphin Elite, but I'm glad I did because it just showed me what great is, or reminded me what great is. Endorphin Elite is great. Endorphin Elite 2 is good. Adios Pro 4 for me, I don't know if I'm even going to run this again. If it were super rainy or something, maybe I will. And maybe I'll give it one more shot at some point in the future, but too many issues in this guy for me. And I know some people like it. I'm not invalidating your experience if you do like it. And it's funny because people watch these reviews and then they buy it anyway. But this is on my personal do not buy list. I'm not even going to say that. It's just I'm not going to recommend the Adios Pro 4 to anybody. If you want a reliable, fun shoe for a sub 4 or sub 330 attempt right now. That's the DV8 Nitro Elite 3. I've got to bring that back up into the rotation for some testing, and I also want to test the ASICS Metaspeed Edge Paris. This one I will be recommending to people who say they want a soft, fun ride. It's just my personal preference with it. It's a little too much for me. The ride is too out there, but maybe I'm not evolving and adapting with the times. I will be getting more miles in this. Hopefully I can get a size 11. If not from Saucony before release, I'll just buy a size 11 when it comes out, and maybe I'll also be able to buy it in a different colorway other than the Acid Trip 5000 here. They could do a really cool marketing rollout with this. Imagine an Austin Powers themed marketing rollout with the Endorphin Elite OG, talking about groovy and funky, and they even have these circles on the bottom. I think that's what they're going for here. Are they going for a 70s inspired aesthetic? And it's almost like a shag carpet on the upper here too. All right, we are completely off topic here. I appreciate you guys. Sign in for the Supwell app. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.